If you're facing a second DUI charge in Indiana, forget everything you've learned from your first one. The game has changed, and now you likely are facing a felony. In Indiana, a second DUI within 7 years of your first DUI is going to be charged as a felony. Felonies are no fun. Maximum time in jail for a felony DUI, assuming it's level 6, is going to be 2.5 years in jail. Maximum fine of $10,000. Now, more importantly for you, if it is charged a felony, most judges and prosecutors are going to be not fun to deal with. And the reason why, lots of judges, lots of prosecutors understand that a first DUI could probably happen to just about anyone. But the second DUI, in their eyes, is going to be like, hey, you are not learning your lesson and you need to be punished in order to make this lesson stick. Felonies are no fun. Significant chance of going to jail, a significant chance of just not having a fun time dealing with the case, and things are much more serious. So when we're dealing with second-time DUIs that are felonies, oftentimes my number one job is to try to find an issue with the case so we can minimize jail time, get a person back driving, and get that felony down to a misdemeanor. Those are usually my 3 most important goals. Now, sometimes people want to fight these, and that's awesome. We love fighting all DUIs, but I have to achieve those 3 goals so that I know I've done everything possible, because I don't want any of my clients to be in jail any longer than they have to be. I don't want any of my clients not driving any longer than they can't drive. And I don't want any of my clients being a felon, especially if the ability to get rid of that felony exists, because felony has all sorts of implications and problems going forward in society. Felony doesn't mean your life's over, but generally felony makes it much more difficult to go through life having to deal with that being a felon. So just keep that in mind. The worst part, in my opinion, about a second DUI is mandatory jail time. Now, the law in Indiana has to follow federal guidelines, which says a second DUI has to do either one of 2 things: 240 hours of community service work or 5 days in jail. Sometimes clients call me and say, hey, Mark, just give me that community service work. Hey, Mark, just give me those 5 days. It's not that easy. That's the floor, meaning that's the bare minimum. And most prosecutors and judges that I know, that I regularly come in contact with, they want much more than the bare minimum for a second-time felony DUI. Keep that in mind. Luckily, there are things that we can do now to try to make it easier later to minimize jail time, get you back on the road, and try to get that felony reduced to a misdemeanor. And whether you acknowledge it or not, the things you do earlier in time seem more genuine than the things you do later. So it's super important in all DUIs to get started as soon as possible. But for a felony DUI, you really want to get started as soon as possible. With your freedom on the line, you need a serious defense for a second DUI charge. We investigate every angle from the prior conviction to the current stop. Time is critical. Give us a call, 317-632-3642. We will talk about DUI defense all day. It's a passion of every single lawyer at this law firm. Most importantly, though, remember to always plead the fifth.